3 years ago during Thanksgiving week, everyone was posting #GiveThanks, saying everything they were thankful for, including their missions. And every time I would read about how one of my friends loved their mission and had such a great experience, I would feel sort of nauseated and honestly sort of jealous because my mission experience was so horrible and I hadn't really processed it totally or talked about it at all. I'd spent 6 years with this underlying regret for what I did as a missionary while being obedient to my mission president. I actually spent the first 2 years after my mission repenting and pleading for God for forgiveness to forgive me for the things that I did on my mission while being obedient. I baptized so many people that should not have been baptized. I did so many things that I knew in my heart didn't feel right. I ignored spiritual promptings because they would go against the mission rules or standards. And we all did these things for fear of being publicly ridiculed and shamed and seen as not faithful enough to be obedient to see the miracles. So every time I saw one of my friends post how thankful they were for their missions, it made me wish that I could be thankful for my mission as well. And then I decided to talk about it. So for the first time in 6 years, I publicly talked about my terrible mission to be able to process what I went through. In sharing this, I knew that a lot of people from my mission would feel seen because I knew that there must be many that felt the same way that I did. No one from our mission really kept in touch and everyone got distant, and I think it's because everyone felt the same way, so much regret and shame for what we had done. And this was confirmed when so many people from my mission commented saying that they felt so validated because I had spoken what they couldn't, and they all had the same feelings that I did. The regret and shame from being so obedient to a leader that you thought was called from God, but was so wicked, is really hard to swallow. Here's the full post. You can pause to read. You can see towards the end how I realized that my terrible mission experience was a huge blessing in the way that it taught me to never rely on any church leader for my truth, but to be confident in following whatever God told me to do. Because even if that went against a church policy or any church leader, I knew that God would never lead me astray, but man could. I realized that no counsel from any church leader should ever take precedent over my feelings of guidance and truth from the Holy Spirit and my own intuition. My unfortunate mission experience taught me the difference between being exactly obedient to church leaders and man and being exactly obedient to God. And while so many church members think that those are the same thing, God taught me the hard way that they are not. Now looking back, I can see how God used this as a stepping stone to help me see the wickedness, corruption, and deception of many church leaders and in our own history.